Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the channel, Daily Stoic Life. Have you ever felt like you are living but not truly alive, as if each day passes by and you are merely existing, checking off your to-do list, maintaining the safe rhythm of life, yet deep inside, something urges you to reach further? Most of us only tap into a small fraction of our true potential. Somewhere beneath the dust of habits and procrastination lies a stronger, more resilient person, capable of conquering great things. Yet sadly, very few people ever awaken this powerful version of themselves. Why? Because comfort is incredibly tempting. We choose what is familiar because it is safe, pleasant, and low risk. But this very sense of security traps us in a weak, mediocre version of ourselves. Stoic philosophy does not accept this. The Stoics believe that we are not victims of fate, but the architects of our own lives. They teach us how to step out of our comfort zones, face difficulties, and train ourselves to become the best version we can be. So, how do we kill our weaker selves and unlock our true potential? Let's explore this right now. Why haven't we reached our full potential? Have you ever wondered if you could do more than this? Or do you feel stuck in a repetitive loop, waking up, working, repeating the same activities, and then falling asleep again, day after day, month after month? If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Most people only tap into a small portion of their real potential, not because they lack ability, but because they have never truly challenged themselves. We often seek ease and comfort because it makes us feel safe. However, this very comfort becomes an invisible wall that traps us within our own limits. Here's a truth that few realize. Your potential does not reveal itself naturally. It only emerges when you challenge yourself. If you never put yourself in difficult situations, how will you know how strong you are? If you never take risks, how will you know how well you can handle them? Stoic philosophy teaches that we are not passive victims of life. We are its architects. Every day, every action, every decision we make shapes who we become. If today you feel like you haven't achieved something great, or haven't fully utilized your capabilities, it's not fate's fault. It's a sign, a reminder that you can do more, live stronger, and break through your limitations. The real question is, are you ready to face discomfort and challenges to unlock your true potential? The danger of mediocrity. Most of us never consciously decide to live a mediocre life. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, "Today, I will do just enough to survive, nothing more, nothing less." Yet somehow, mediocrity sneaks into our lives, subtly, silently, until one day, we realize it has taken over our entire existence. Mediocrity is not always obvious. It's not necessarily failure, nor is a lack of accomplishments. It is more insidious. It manifests in small excuses we tell ourselves. "I'll start on Monday. I'm not good at this. I don't have enough time." These seemingly harmless statements are the bricks that build the walls of an unremarkable, stagnant life. Mediocrity also hides in procrastination, those important tasks we continuously delay. It appears when we choose the easy path instead of challenging ourselves. It exists in the opportunities we ignore, the dreams we let gather dust, and the great things we never truly strive for. The Stoics understood the danger of this lifestyle. To them, living a mediocre life is not just a waste of potential, it is a betrayal of oneself. Because you are capable of more. You can be stronger, wiser, and braver. But you can only achieve this if you dare to step out of your comfort zone. Ask yourself, am I truly living up to my full potential? Or am I settling for mediocrity simply because it's easier? These questions are not meant to make you feel guilty, but to wake you up. And when you recognize that you are trapped in mediocrity, remember, you are not bound to it forever. You can change, starting right now. How to overcome mediocrity and unlock your potential. Recognizing that you are stuck in mediocrity is an important step, but awareness alone is not enough. What matters more is what you do next. How do you break free from a life of just getting by? How do you unlock the best version of yourself? First, you need self-awareness. You cannot change something if you don't even realize it exists. Take some time to reflect on your life. In what areas are you settling for less than you are truly capable of? What have you always wanted to do but kept postponing? What goals have you set but then forgotten? Be honest with yourself. No one can do this for you. Once you recognize the problem, start taking action, even if only in small steps. Don't think that you need to transform your entire life overnight. True growth does not come from sudden leaps, but from consistent, small efforts every day. Every time you choose effort over procrastination, you are training yourself to become a better version of yourself. And remember, you are not alone in this journey. The environment around you greatly influences the way you think and act. Most of us never consciously decide to live a mediocre life. No one wakes up in the morning and says, "Today, I will just do enough to survive, nothing more, nothing less." Yet somehow, mediocrity sneaks into our lives, quietly, subtly, until it has woven itself into the fabric of our existence. Mediocrity is not always obvious. It is not necessarily failure, nor is it the absence of achievements. It is more insidious than that. It manifests in the little excuses we tell ourselves. "I'll start on Monday. I'm not good at this. I don't have enough time." These seemingly harmless thoughts are the building blocks of an uninspired, stagnant life. Mediocrity also hides in procrastination, in the important tasks we keep postponing indefinitely. It shows up when we choose the easy path instead of challenging ourselves, in the opportunities we miss, the dreams we allow to be buried by time, and the great things we never truly strive to achieve. The Stoics understood the danger of this way of living. To them, living a mediocre life was not just a waste of potential, it was a betrayal of oneself. Because you can be more. You can be stronger, wiser, and braver. But you can only achieve that if you dare to step outside your comfort zone. Ask yourself, are you truly living to your fullest potential, or are you settling for the average because it's easier? These questions are not meant to make you feel guilty, but to awaken you. And once you realize that you are trapped in mediocrity, remember that you are not bound by it forever. You can change, starting right now. How to overcome mediocrity and unlock your potential. Recognizing that you are stuck in mediocrity is an important step, but recognition alone is not enough. What matters more is what you do next. How do you break free from a life of mere existence and move forward to unlock your best self? First, you need self-awareness. You cannot change something if you are not aware that it exists. Take some time to reflect on your life. Are there areas where you are accepting less than what you are truly capable of? Is there something you have wanted to do for a long time, but have always found excuses to delay? Are there goals you once set, but later abandoned? Be honest with yourself. No one else can do this for you. Once you identify the problem, take action, even if it's just small steps. Don't think you need to change your entire life overnight. True growth doesn't come from sudden, drastic transformations, but from small, consistent efforts. Every time you choose effort over procrastination, you are training yourself to become a better version of yourself. And don't forget that you are not alone in this journey. Your environment has a huge influence on how you think and act. If you surround yourself with people who are also striving for growth, people who constantly push their limits, you will find yourself motivated to do the same. On the other hand, if you only stay around those who are content with mediocrity, it will be very difficult for you to break free from it. Finally, remember that growth always comes with challenges. There will be times when you feel exhausted, when you doubt yourself, when you even feel like giving up. But that is part of the journey. The Stoics believed that it is precisely in these difficult moments that we truly discover our strength. So if you want to unlock your full potential, don't wait. Start today. Take a small action, make a bold decision. Take a step towards a more fulfilling life, conquering the negative voice in your mind. Each of us has a voice in our head, a voice that always seems ready to point out every weakness, every fear, every reason why we are not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough to pursue great things. This is the voice of doubt, of fear of failure, of the habit of procrastination and accepting life as it is. Do you recognize it? When you are about to do something bold, When you want to step out of your comfort zone, does that voice whisper, "I can't do this"? When you face a challenge, does it remind you that failure is inevitable? And when you see others succeed, does it tell you, "I will never be like them"? But do you know the most important thing about that voice? It is not the truth. The Stoics understood that thoughts are just fleeting impressions, not reality. Epictetus once said, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them." It is our thoughts that create feelings of insecurity and inadequacy, not objective reality. If you believe in those negative thoughts, you will be bound by them. But if you question your own thoughts, you will realize that most fears are merely illusions. So how do you silence that negative voice? First, learn to observe your thoughts as an outsider. When a negative thought appears, don't automatically believe it. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is there any evidence that I can't do this? Just by questioning your thoughts, you weaken their power over you. Next, create a new narrative about yourself. If the negative voice says, "I'm not good enough," respond with, "I am learning and improving every day." If it says, "I will fail," reply with, "Failure is just part of the learning process." This is not blind optimism. It is shifting your perspective to see the whole truth, not just the negative aspects, but also the positive ones filled with potential. Finally, remember that action is the most effective way to silence the negative voice. Every time you act despite fear, you are training yourself to believe in a new truth. I can do this. Over time, the voice in your head will no longer be a hindrance, but a companion, one that urges you forward instead of holding you back. So the next time the negative voice arises in your mind, don't let it control you. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses how to respond to them. The value of discomfort. Most of us tend to avoid discomfort. We choose the path of least resistance, steer clear of challenges, and seek maximum comfort. But paradoxically, it is this very comfort that prevents us from growing. Look back at history. Great individuals did not become strong in easy circumstances. They forged themselves by embracing hardships. It is in discomfort and unexpected challenges that true resilience and capability are revealed. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that if we do not train ourselves to face difficulties when they are small, we will not be able to stand firm when life truly tests us. That is why they actively sought out discomfort, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they knew that discomfort is an exercise for strengthening the mind and willpower. So how can you apply this mindset to daily life? First, learn to accept discomfort. When you feel lazy, remind yourself, "This is exactly when I need to act." When you face difficulties, think, "This is an opportunity for me to become stronger." Don't see challenges as enemies. See them as teachers. Next, actively put yourself in challenging situations. The Stoics have a concept called voluntary discomfort, intentionally experiencing hardship to train oneself. They would fast for a day to see that they could endure hunger. They would sleep on the floor to remind themselves that luxury is not essential. They would walk instead of taking a vehicle to prove their bodies were stronger than they thought. You don't have to go to extremes, but you can wake up earlier than usual to build discipline. Exercise even when you don't feel like it. Speak your mind despite fear, or learn a new skill even if you think you lack talent. These small actions gradually change how you see yourself. You will realize that you can endure more than you think, that you are stronger than you believe. Most importantly, you are preparing yourself for greater challenges in life. If you are accustomed to facing small inconveniences when real difficulties arise, you won't be crushed. You won't panic or give up. You will look at them and say, "I am ready." So the next time you encounter something difficult, don't avoid it. Remember, discomfort is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. The core Stoic principle that can change your life. If there's one core principle in Stoicism that can completely transform your life, it is self-responsibility. Stoics do not believe in blaming circumstances, fate, or other people. They understand that every outcome in life stems from the choices we make daily. However, this truth is hard to accept because if you fully acknowledge that you have total control over your life, it means there is no room for excuses. You can't say you don't have time, because the truth is, you chose to prioritize other things. You can't blame your environment, because you can choose how you respond to it. Stoics believe that self-discipline is the foundation of a meaningful life. Without discipline, emotions will dictate your actions. You will procrastinate, seek temporary comfort, and drift through life instead of steering your own course. How to cultivate discipline and personal responsibility. First, clarify your goals. A life without goals is like a ship adrift at sea without a compass. You must know where you want to go, who you want to become, and what truly matters to you. Write down your goals and place them somewhere visible. Next, establish a system for self-reflection. Every week, ask yourself, what did I do this week to move closer to my goals? What did I waste time on? Am I living according to the values I believe in? Stoics believe self-examination is a powerful tool for continuous improvement. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, spent time every evening reflecting on his actions. He asked himself what he did well and what he needed to improve. If you adopt this habit, you will realize that progress is no longer random. It becomes a systematic process. Additionally, find an accountability partner to help you stay responsible. When you tell someone about your goals, you create positive pressure to commit to them. This could be a friend, a mentor, or a group of like-minded people. They will help you stay motivated, remind you when you drift off course, and push you forward when you feel like giving up. Finally, remember that discipline is not restriction. It is freedom. When you control yourself, you are no longer ruled by emotions or external circumstances. You become the creator of your own life, instead of merely reacting to what happens. So if you want to change your life, start by taking full responsibility for your actions. No excuses, no delays, just action. Because no one else can do it for you. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This means your environment, especially the people you interact with regularly, has a huge influence on your thoughts, attitude, and actions. No matter how strong-willed or disciplined you are, if you surround yourself with unmotivated people who constantly complain, are pessimistic, and procrastinate, you will eventually be affected. Conversely, if you spend time with people who continuously seek growth, challenge themselves, and move forward, you will naturally be lifted along with them. How to build a network that helps you grow. First, evaluate your current relationships. Ask yourself, are the people around me encouraging me to become the best version of myself? Or are they dragging me into negative habits? If a relationship does not help you grow, it may be time to reconsider its priority in your life. Next, actively seek out like-minded individuals. These could be mentors, friends with a positive mindset, or online communities focused on personal development. You don't necessarily have to cut people out of your life, but you can spend more time with those who inspire you. Finally, remember that relationships are not just about success. They are about character, ethics, and mindset. A great friend doesn't just help you make more money or achieve career goals. They help you become a better person. If you truly want to grow, build a strong circle of relationships. Find people who will lift you up and become the person who lifts others as well. Thank you for accompanying Daily Stoic Life. If you find the values in this video helpful, don't forget to share them with those who need to hear them. And if you want to continue your journey of self-improvement through Stoic philosophy, watch the next video on the screen. Remember, life doesn't change when you just think about it. It changes when you take action. And that starts right now.